Legion utilizes Nmap to scan ports and allows you to invoke the functionality of other pentest tools all under one application, which we'll see. Start by typing sudo legion, and it'll give us a nice GUI to traverse on. In order to start our reconnaissance, we'll need an IP, a host, or a URL that you have permission to scan. I will be using one on Hack the Box, so let's copy this. We can minimize that, and we can click the green plus to add host, and we can paste the host in right there. Now, you will have the option to select between easy and hard. Easy is just simply using the defaults for the Nmap host discovery and or port scan options, where hard allows us to customize those very same options to help us in certain situations, which we'll discuss about. Next, we have timing and performance. Timing and performance very easily is just the speed of the scan that you're running. A lot of people tend to think that a faster scan is better, but that's not necessarily the truth. And the reason being is because a fast scan, although it's quick, is very noisy and it's very easily detected. So if we're looking to be more sneaky and to test some of our IDS systems or security systems, we can do a slower scan. Next, we have port scan options. Port scan options is how the scan will discover or differentiate between ports that are open and closed. So it allows us to choose a different method of sending packets. And the reason why this is important is because some systems may have packet filtering or non-stateful firewalls. So choosing a different method like obfuscated, fin, null will help us bypass certain rules, allowing the scan to be more accurate. On a pen test, it's good to test multiple port scan options. Lastly, host discovery options. This allows us to probe an IP to see if it's actually up and running and active. This is good against a larger range of IPs. However, we do have different options like ICMP, TCP-SYN, TCP-ACK. Some systems will block ICMP requests, so you have an alternate that you can try. Now we're good to kick off the scan. And here are the results. There's currently 2 ports open, port 22 and port 80. If we're looking to get more details, we can just right click and click Run Nmap scripts on port, and that will populate version information, as we can see here. So from this point forward, it's actually relatively easy to use Legion because, like I mentioned in the beginning, we can use multiple pen test tools within Legion. So if we right click, we can see that we can check for default SSH credentials or even root credentials or even grab a banner. So let's try to check for default SSH credentials. And when you perform any action on Legion, it will always create a tab where you can view the status of it. Let's head back to services and also check out port 80. If we right click on this, we can actually see a lot more options. And that's because we're looking at port 80, which is HTTP, a web application. So we actually even have the option to run Nikto, which is a web application scanner. So let's go ahead and do that. And another thing we can run is even directory busting to find out any directories that we can look to traverse to, which is very handy. So Legion is a very handy tool to perform a multitude of different tasks. We can even right click and send to brute, as seen here, and we can click on the brute tab. And under this tab, we can even place in a username and a password. The nice thing about it is you can even attach a password list. We can browse out and attach rawq.txt or any type of dictionary list that we're looking to use. Now, I would love to show you a brute force attack. However, my videos always get removed, so we're just gonna keep it out for now. However, just know that this is an option that you can do on Legion, and it's very easy to launch. As one last thing, let's go ahead out and see how our Nikto scan is doing. So we can head back to scan, Nikto, and we can see it did find something so far. The Apache 2.4.52 appears to be outdated. So this is where we can look to enumerate that potential vulnerability that has been found. And that sums up the summary of Legion and the basics around it. Thank you very much for watching.